Hello and welcome to Points in the Paint. In this video we will discuss not only the concept of points in the paint and what it means in the game of basketball, but we will also help you define what exactly the paint is on a basketball court. Let's begin there. When looking at a basketball floor, you will notice at both ends a rectangular area. This area is known as the lane, key, or paint. It is defined by 4 lines: the baseline, the free throw line, and 2 lane lines that connect them. Again, this is the paint, the lane, or the key. You'll notice in our diagram we have 2 different size lanes. The lane on the left represents the NBA and international basketball, and it's 16 feet wide. The lane on the right is used in American college and high school basketball and is just 12 feet wide. Now that you know what the paint is, let's talk about points in the paint. Plain and simple, points in the paint refers to any basket scored inside the lane, the key, or the paint in the area that we have colored in here. A 2-point field goal will count as a point in the paint when made inside this defined area. With that in mind, some of the most common shots in basketball are found just outside the lane and will not count as points in the paint. They include jump shots taken from the free throw line or the half circle, from the elbows just outside the corners of the lane, or a lot of times post-ups that end up in the short corner but outside the lane. Again, these will not be counted as points in the paint. Now, points in the paint are coveted because they are high percentage and typically easier shots based on their relative proximity to the basket itself. That is why you will oftentimes hear coaches, players, and broadcasters talk about the importance of controlling the paint. Now, one of the biggest challenges to scoring points in the paint can be a rule known as the 3-second rule. What this means is no offensive player is allowed to be inside the lane, paint, or key for 3 seconds or more. It does not matter if you have the basketball or not. 3 seconds is 3 seconds. Now in the NBA, this rule is also implied towards defensive players, so they are not allowed to be in the paint for 3 seconds or longer either. Now before we wrap things up, you might be wondering, well, why exactly do they call it the paint? Well, as you can see by looking at this or pretty much any basketball court around the world, a basic basketball court is made of hardwood and is a brown color. To identify the lane or the paint, as time went on and as we see nowadays, most oftentimes these lanes are painted in some form of color. As we see in this diagram, they are yellow, and we have now shaded them with blue. That again is points in the paint. Thanks for listening.